Here we go. Cody, just talk a little bit about the recruiting process for you. And you decided on South Carolina earlier this week. What were some of the factors that came to that decision? When did you come to that decision?
Well, first of all, I just really liked the coaches. Coach Holbrook was really nice, and he was just a really genuine guy. I can see myself playing for him. Coach Myers is just, I don't know, he doesn't speak much, but I don't know, he's kind of no nonsense, and I really liked him. And Espo's a really cool guy, and he's just really outgoing with me. And he was a big part of the recruiting process for me. And I think I talked to him the most out of all the coaches, and I really, really liked him. He was a really good coach.
And South Carolina was high on your list early, and Florida was in there too, a couple other schools. But you came on a visit to South Carolina about a week ago now. Just what was it about that visit that made you feel good and know that South Carolina was the right spot?
Well, when I got there, all three coaches were waiting for me, and it meant a lot for them to be there. All three of them made me feel important and wanted, and they stuck with me all through the tour, and it was just really, really special seeing the campus, and I really liked pretty much there's not really anything I don't like about South Carolina. I got recruited by Florida, North Carolina, Kentucky, Clemson, Maryland, Virginia Tech, East Carolina, Miami. I had, some schools that were up there higher on the list, but South Carolina separated itself, and it was just South Carolina was just, I knew it was the place for me when I stepped on campus, and the coaches were, I just know I can see myself playing for them in the future, and they really separated themselves, especially the second visit. I just knew it was the place for me when I stepped on campus.
And you had a couple other trips that same day or over the course of that couple of days to kind of compare things to. So that, when you had something immediately before and after to compare South Carolina to, did that help you in making that call?
When I was done at North Carolina, I really liked it there and it was nice, but I just knew South Carolina was it. Kind of solidified my decision that night. And
Florida was also high on your list. You had a trip scheduled there for July 29th. Any kind of second guessing as far as not making that trip? What kind of was going through your mind when you were trying to figure out whether to cancel that one or not?
I wanted to see Florida, but I just knew there wasn't any reason for me to wait, and I didn't want to put South Carolina in a spot where they've already signed 6 kids, and I'd being the 7th. I didn't want to put them in a spot where they have 2 other recruits coming in, and just the process. It was time for me to commit, and so I knew I didn't have to wait anymore. I knew where I wanted to go.
All right. Well, tell us a little bit about yourself as a pitcher. For those who haven't seen you throw, just kind of describe your stuff. What makes schools like South Carolina, Florida, Miami recruit you?
Well, I'm 6'4", and really projectable, so I sit 88 to 90, touching 92, 93. So I got more to come, and I got a really advanced changeup, and that's my go-to pitch. So, and my curveball is kind of in between a curveball and a slider, but I'm working to improve it and get it to a hard slider in the future when I want to get it to.
All right. And your demeanor on the mound. What kind of guy are you out there having fun? You all serious, no nonsense kind of guy, or what's your like on the mound?
Well, I'm 2 different persons. In the dugout, I'm really relaxed and kind of just laughing at everything. But when I get on the mound, I'm serious, and I pride myself in being mentally tough. And I don't like things to get to me, and so I try not to show really any emotion out there. So I'd say I'm pretty serious on the mound.
All right. And, go back to your high school season a little bit, and, how do you feel like you performed there?
I did pretty well. I was 6-2 with a 1.3 ERA, and I think 89 strikeouts and 10 walks. I lost on 2 one-hitters, so that was tough. Thought I should have been 8-0, but it's the way it goes. Our team, we ended up losing in the regional final, but we made it really far, and we started 8 sophomores, so it was good to get that far with that young of players.
and recruiting picked up for you a lot this summer with a bunch of different schools kind of jumping into the mix. I mean, you obviously had a really good summer so far with the Evo Shield Canes. Just what have you been doing really well for them? What have caused some of the schools to come on? How do you feel like you've been pitching this summer?
I've pitched really good this summer, actually. I think I've only given up 3 or 4 earned runs total, and so I've just been pitching off my fastball really well, getting good movement and sync, and getting a lot of ground balls, and that's just opened up a lot for my changeup and curveball and stuff. And so I mean, I've pitched pretty well, and I'm glad to be committed. I'm relieved.
And you're playing with a lot of South Carolina guys, Danny, LT. I mean, you played last week with Hunter and Junior. I mean, what does that mean to know that you're going into a program where you know a lot of guys? And
yeah, it was huge, especially since we won and we know how to win. And I think that's really, really important that we played together and we know how to win together. And so I'm really glad to be playing with those guys. And I mean, LT and Caleb and Danny are like brothers. Danny only lives like an hour away from me in Maryland, and so I don't know. It was a huge factor in my decision.
Mm-hmm. And they're now that you've committed, you've mentioned kind of a stress reliever, but
yeah.
At the same time, I'm sure there are things you want to work on and improve before you get to South Carolina. What are some of the things that you kind of focused on the rest of the summer just to kind of improve your game and going into high school season as well?
Well, I'm pretty skinny as it is right now, so I'm just working with my personal trainer and trying to get bigger and get some good muscle and throw the ball harder.